Good morning! Good morning! Hello everyone, it's me, Maxi, your navigator, on this trepidatious... No, I was gonna do the thing where I just would do, I would start words with the same letter. There's a word for that, and it was hi Fade Leaf, hi Dallas, hi Dale. Trepidatious tyranny was the two words that came to mind. If there is no better foreshadowing for the state of my brain right now. Nonetheless, hello. Hi Dale, hi Dallas, hi Fate Leaf. Dallas says, filling out a creature feature with a D66 rolls down to the last 6 entries. Let's go. Hell yeah. You only have the last 16% of the work left. Let's go. Wait, hold on. Maxi can't do words, but Maxi can do math. What's happening today? I don't know. Don't talk to me. I don't know what's going on. I've lost all sense of self. Ego death is real. Hello, welcome. Today is going to be at the science stream, by the way. I mean, you already know, because you looked at the thumbnail and you read the title of this stream. Today we'll be working on Zetamon the Sign. Zetamon is the name for my upcoming creature collecting TTRPG. Hello, hi Peter. There's something about the name Peter that just makes me want to go into my fake Irish accent. Peter. There's just I'm a big fan of marking the T's. I'm a big fan of T's. Anybody out there love T's, by the way? You know, I love marking the T's almost as much as I love to ignore them. Okay, because let me tell you, there is quite a few Californian delights as just ignoring the sound a T is supposed to make, you know? Gutta doesn't even have... It has 2 T's, okay? G-O-T-T-A. Gutta has got 2 T's in it. And you just don't pay attention to any of them. I love that. I love English. I love linguistics. It's true. Peter is correct. Everyone loves the T. Why else would T-pose be in every game? That being said, I believe... game development. Oh my god, the Iron Sworn thumbnail was on screen. I love that. I believe game development now uses A-posing, because it turns out that characters normally don't have their arms parallel to the ground. They usually have them, you know, at a 45-degree angle, so they model characters expecting them to be in an A-pose. Nonetheless, you know, game designing stuff aside, hello, it is almost 11 a.m. in sunny California. Chippo!
Welcome back.
I love you, Chippo.
Welcome.
I love Chippy. I missed you, Chippy. How you doing, frienda? Big design session today. I'll be going over the schedule and also a little hint / me telling you what's happening next week. But other than that, we're in for a unhinged Maxi session. Why particularly unhinged as opposed to what normal Maxi, who's definitely hinged? That's right. Imagine the one day I get a full night of sleep and a balanced breakfast is the day that I'm gonna say, fellas, call me the little mechanism that holds your door closed, because I'm hinged today. That felt like guitar riff worthy, by the way. I have a little headache, says Chippy, but I'm cute and full of whimsy nonetheless. Yeah, let's go. That's right, fellas. Imagine me serving my purpose as the little mechanism that holds your door in place. That's right, I'm your door's hinge. It's me. Welcome back. Was there ever a resolution mechanic discussed, now that I think about it? Regarding the combat system, or what are you talking about? Regarding, like, say, what particular resolution system for Zetamon? The combat lives all in my head. I was taking notes this morning. Oh, it's 11 a.m. in Southern California and we're talking about game design. Let's just start! Yeah! Hello, everyone! It's me, Maxi, your navigator, your companion, the little navvy in the back of your head going, listen, it's me. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? I've lost my mind. First, let me tell you about the schedule for this week. Today, as you already know, we're doing zetamon design. Tomorrow, we're back to another episode of Chronomia Triggered. It is the series that I do on Nomia's channel, ! Nomia. I forgot to open Mix It Up. Incredible, Maxi, incredible. Maxi, is this your first time streaming, Maxi? Everyone please be nice to me. It's my first day streaming. Hello. Chronomia Trigger is a segment where I show my good friend Nomia the greatest RPG ever made. I almost said TTRPG. Dude, Chrono Trigger TTRPG incoming. The greatest role-playing game. Maxi is so absolutely TTRPG pilled. They can't even say RPG anymore. I show Nomia Chrono Trigger, one of the greatest Japanese role-playing games of all time, and role-playing games of all time. The day after that, we're doing more zetamon, and no more streams until Sunday, where I think I'm doing Monhun with Nomia. I may or may not be doing Monster Hunter with Nomia. But if I am, you will know, because I'll tell you about it. Other than that, next week is gonna be a little bit funny. Funny in the way that I'm starting a new co-op campaign with Plague and Siska. Plague and Siska have been absent from the channel for a little bit. Mostly because I had to make assets, and also I've been in and out working on this project. In and out, Maxi, you're Californian. I bet you love In-N-Out Burger, huh? Shut the hell up. In-N-Out Burger, I've come around. I used to be an In-N-Out Burger defender. It's changed now. I've become an In-N-Out Burger hater. That's right. It's hater now. I'm a hater. In-N-Out Burger is mid at best. Dallas says co-op. What exactly? That's right. Now, if you're whoever first guessed who this character is supposed to be, other than me, will get 100 max points. Also, hi, Michael. Hello, Michael. Hello.
Welcome.
Hi,
back.
Orange. Five Guys is superior now. Yep. Yeah, I'm so Pokemon pilled. I read that as Five Guys is superior now, and I'm like, wow. Did you know that Snivy is not a Pokemon? Anyway, that's actually an ancient ass joke. Even better, I'll just show you the Fugis actually. This is Maxi when no talk, and this is Maxi when two do be talking. I've made new Fugis because I'm doing a new co-op campaign with Plague, Sword, and Siska. Here's Plague no talk. Elden Ring, we already beat Elden Ring, although we could do a second run. And this is Plague, Sword when he do be talking. And this one will definitely do it for sure. Here is Siska when not talking. And there's Siska when she do be talking. That's right. We're playing Dark Souls 3. So Siska was like, we should play Dark Souls 3. And I'm like, I don't own Dark Souls 3. And then Siska was like, check your Steam library. And then I'm like, holy crap, I do own Dark Souls 3. How did that happen? Anyway, so we're doing Dark Souls 3. This is Siska, of course, as the Firekeeper. She requested to be the Firekeeper. By the way, Siska has black hair now. Siska dyed her hair black. Co-op Mario Kart when? Okay, so, the one thing about not streaming on Fridays means that there's like a whole, like, 4-day chunk when you don't get updates. By the way, it is Monday. I mean Tuesday. I mean Monday. I mean Tuesday. So Kitty and I, we were able to reserve. That's right. Please stand aside, swine. A person who got a Switch 2 pre-order is coming through. That's right. Kitty and I, we were able to get a reservation for a Switch 2. So you know that as soon as that slaps the hood of my Switch 2, this bitch is gonna play so much Mario Kart on stream. And not just because it's a work expense, but impartially because it's a work expense. So yeah, get excited for Mario Kart on stream. Did it have Mario Kart? Because mine doesn't? Oh no! Sorry to hear that, Dallas. Hey, you still got the Switch too, though. I guess I want to echo the words of the prophet himself, Captain Astronaut.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
I will believe the reservation went through when I actually have the Switch 2 in my hands. So yeah, next week we'll be beginning our playthrough of Dark Souls 3. And you're like, Maxi, is that like Elden Ring? Kinda. Are you playing Tomodachi Life, living the dream on the Switch 2? You freaking know it. I think I will do it, and I will make nothing but OCs in there. OCs and maybe members of the stream. I feel like that'll be fun. Dark Souls 3 is the Elden Ring of Souls-like. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. So, what else is happening tonight? What else? Okay, so so I'm doing that, and I'm doing this other thing and that other thing. So welcome to the Sign Hours, Creative Hours, a stream segment where we do creative work. Today, we will be continuing work on my latest tabletop role-playing game, zetamon, a monster collecting, capturing, fighting TTRPG inspired by Pokemon, Digimon, Yokai Watch, Koromon, Cassette Beasts, whatever other ones I haven't thought about yet. Not Nexomon. Screw Nexomon. Anyways, Maxi, why do you hate Nexomon? I don't hate Nexomon. Someone had to be the butt of the joke. What was the name of the Pokemon like but about collecting robots? Pokemon like but about robots. It was like Pata something. Patamon? It wasn't Patamon is the name of the guy, the little guy from Digimon. It's not Metabots, by the way. Don't say Metabots in the chat, okay? It's not Metabots. It was for the GBC. I know it was for the GBC. No, it wasn't GBC. What was it called? Robopon! It was Robopon, man. Shoutouts to Maxi remembering Robopon. There we go. There's Robopon. Let me show you. There you go. There. Build them, collect them, trash them. Robopon, created by Atlas, with a little. I love it when a game has, you know. I really appreciate a little shield with the banner that says RPG on it. I really appreciate that. Also, congratulations, you purchased the Sun version of Robopon. I should play this on stream. I wonder if this holds up. It looks like ass. Oh, Sunny versus Screwy. Tag yourself. I think I'm Screwy. Denpaman? Denpaman is also another one. Orange asks, I might as well ask this since I was curious in art. So, with the different parts of the mech, how are we going to translate it into the game? Alright, so, the way that's gonna work is that you can't steal from the future except in Pokemon Violet. How dare you? So, let me just do a quick little lightning round of answers. First and foremost, number one, have we decided on a method of catching zetamon? Zetamon will be recruited to your side after defeating them in battle. If you do well, or I guess if you do at all, you will have the option to recruit the zetamon that you fought, also known as sparring. Sparring in this setting is a bonding exercise that all creatures in the world do just normally. It is a way of resolving issues, conflicts, but it's not inherently violent. Yes, there is violence in it, but it is just like any kind of sport. As to Orange's question, how are the mechanisms gonna work? So, in DSM, your abilities in battle were basically built out of cards. In this game, your abilities in battle will be each individual zetamon that you bring into battle, you'll be able to bring multiple into battle, will have a collection of actions / moves. And those are the things it can do in battle. There will only be probably 4. I think 4 seems like a good number. And those moves will be randomly generated from a collection of traits. Part of the fun gameplay loop is training your zetamon to improve / change / reroll the moves that it has. The moves that your zetamon have will be dependent on features that it has. For instance, does it have hands? Does it have sharp bits in its body? Does it have spiky bits on its body? Stuff like that. Is Weed Eater going to be one of the options? Perhaps. How about World of Final Fantasy stuff with Final Fantasy enemies and summons? I mean, like, now listen. I don't know about a system. I don't know about a system where you stack your little guys like Tsum Tsums. In future, moves will be randomly generated. Also, hi Prism. I didn't say hi to you. Hi, Weed Eater. So I want to catch you up with previously on. Yeah. So last time that we were doing the stream, hello, welcome in. The last time we were doing the stream, we had a big old document where I introduced you to the elements of the setting. The affinities, as I'm calling them at the moment. Please keep in mind that everything you see on the stream is temporary, not final. The following footage was not made in engine, so please be mindful of that. We also, of course, have... Let me put the timer somewhere else. It's kind of blocking... It's blocking some stuff. I'll put the timer over here. We have... There's also 12... we use the zodiacs as a way to break down the body types. And we explain every single one of the body types, following inspiration from the actual Pokemon system of using body types. And then we started literally going through the Pokedex and some Digimon. No, I don't want the Digimons to feel sad. And we were breaking up exactly like what their features were to create an idea for how a creature generation system, what the system would focus on. And we did quite a few. We did get to Pikachu, actually, now that I think about it. Still in a weed eater. Hi, Siska. Hello. I showed off your new Fugis. Oh, hi, Anto. Sorry, the cat's here. He's being silly. How far did we go? We got as far as... We got as far as Butterfree. And then we started doing Digimon, because we were out of time, yeah. Man, so I spent a part of the weekend in between doing stuff, looking at Digimon designs, and let me tell you, these are some dumb designs. These are some dumb designs, by the way. That being said, I do want to make it a point, by the way, that unlike Kendra, I do in fact support our troops. By the way, you know, Kendra Purpleface PhD does not support our troops. I support our troops, you know? I am here looking out for our boys in blue. You know? Kendra does not support our forces. And let me tell you, I do, okay? If you're not looking at the stream, I don't know what to tell you. You're just gonna have to assume, you just trust me on this one, okay? Maxi, how many cards of Guard of Commandramon are there? At least 2 more. I don't like this one because it really does say police on their helmet, and that's a bad vibe. ACAB includes Commandramon, by the way. Anyways, I was looking at Digimon, and I found the Digimon that is literally an Agumon wearing camouflage and an M16. And there's something about that I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe we won't go full Digimon today. Maybe we won't go full Digimon. I feel like there's a threshold. The best way to improve something, guns. I was watching a video of like caught Pokemon, and I didn't realize that Blastoise was not the final evolution of Squirtle. There was an evolution to War Turtle that looked more War Turtle-ish. But then they were like, nah, we'll just make it evolve into this guy. And I'm like, oh, that's where the canons came from. Because the Blastoise's canons come out of nowhere, man. Also, Blastoise has a completely different face profile. Not to be like Who really is the father? Maxi, are you saying that Blastoise is not the father of Wartortle and Squirtle? Maybe I am saying that. Maybe, I don't know. Wow. These science streams really are becoming like the shock live TV, the shock reality TV of my streams. Cause last stream we were transvestigating Nidorino, and now I'm announcing that Blastoise's kits are not his own. Anyways, big shoutouts to Robopon. I should play this actually. Let me make a note. Let me actually make a note to play Robopon. Maxi, you don't even play video games, Maxi. Yeah, I know, but I I'll put it on my 3DS. I am actually doing some research. The current game that I'm playing for research, fellas, the stars have aligned. Welcome, the stars have aligned. It's true. I am once again playing through Yokai Watch. That's right. It's like the 10th time. Thank you. I am very brave. Thank you.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
I have started. I have played the first 3 hours of Yokai Watch 1 probably like 6 times. This time it will be it for sure though. This time I'll definitely break through the 6-hour wall. Before we come out of the screen, before I'm coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine, I love the design aspect of just putting RPG on the cover for your game. Like, in case you thought this was an action game, or I don't know, or an RTS on the GBC, don't worry, said Atlas. I got you. It's an RPG. You build them, you collect them, and you trash them. Much like me with hyperfixations. Anyway, so, hello and welcome to the segment of the stream where I show you. So I want you to look at the sidebar, by the way. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 documents. Last time we saw each other, there were 6 documents. There are now 6 more documents on this sheet. So on Friday, right after the design stream that we did together, I decided that I had to stop and go through every single move in Pokemon. And I did! I went through every single move, status, special, and physical in Pokemon to create keywords and get a general idea for how I want my moves to look like. I also did some more... look at all these notes. I'm terrible in that I put my findings at the top of a document instead of, at the bottom where normally there would be. That may be a bit much. Too late, Dallas! It's too late! I already did it! I also looked at the breakdown of Pokemons per game to get a feeling for what the breakdown would be like. There is definitely an underrepresentation of fire Pokemons. Yo, hi Sofifi. You looking at now, Maxi. What is the importance of having done this right here? Dallas goes back to calculating the 4th root of things for fictional planets. There we go. Yeah. Shout-outs to Traveler, by the way. How you doing, Sofifi, by the way? Let me hit you with one of these.
Welcome back.
So, I reorganized the Pokemon types into the houses that we have for Zetamon. The 6 elements in Zetamon are Fire, Bolt, Aqua, Dust, Bioreactive, and Metaphysical. And... wrong page. If we take all of those and we repopulate them into the groups that we have now, there is, to no one's surprise, an abundance of Aqua Zetamon. There's actually Bio Zetamon are flourishing, and Fire Zetamon appear to be fading out, getting doused, being put off. Okay, all right. So definitely, what this tells me is that the fire archetype needs maybe a little bit more of an identity. I'm thinking of maybe putting more of an additional theme to have more room for Fire Zetamon. Anyways, so I went through every move. I analyzed it and I created keywords and I invented a bunch of new keywords. Please enjoy just me scrolling through this at normal speed. No, we're not done, by the way. We're like about halfway. So everyone on the right is actually a keyword that I created. Some of them will probably have to go away. Dailies says, and I quote, "There's only so many designs where you can make a Pokemon hot. Unless you're some kind of game freak." Maxi, those were out of order, Maxi. Yeah, well, it's my Monday. It's my Monday. That being said, Dailies, congratulations. Welcome to getting quoted. Well, actually, first off, Nightbot, are you in the room right now? Oh, it is. Thank God. Okay. Ad quote. Please hit me with an ad quote. Dailies 2025. Thank you. So, the following that you're about to experience is going to be an exercise in going, Maxi, that might be an awful lot of work. Dude, that's quote 1080. Dude, makes me want to snowboard. Anyways, that's a joke for no one. It's a joke specifically for me and Dale and no one else. That's a good quote. Quote 105, his pronouns are he, him, bo. That's good, that's good, that's good. So you're gonna realize, Maxi, this is an awful lot of work. Yeah. So after this is document 1 out of 6 documents, by the way, that after this, and coming up with essentially categories for moves, by the way, I started thinking, okay, so how would the system actually look? So I took just one out of the 12 archetypes. Aries represents quadrupeds that are based on rodents or smaller 4-legged creatures. Thankfully, the internet is, fellas, you may not realize this, but the internet is full of pictures of rodents. So I use that as reference. I love this guy with this little snoot. I love his little snooter. You know, and I'm still in a dream, snake snooter. I believe that's a mole rat, by the way. And I was like, okay, so the creation system that I was envisioning was gonna be like you roll on body parts and you put them and you draw and you build onto the drawing that you were told to make first. So you would have a visual idea of what your zetamon looks like. So I'm like, okay, let's look at these guys and a bunch of other photos that I had for reference and break down what face types they have, what particular traits they do, and this will help me create the random generation table for what we're doing. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. As you can imagine, still a lot. And then I started doing them, and then I realized all these guys are actually not even Aries. These are actually Leo Zetamon anyway. So ignore all of that. And then I'm like, okay, so how would the system creation thing look like? And I took a bunch of notes, imagining what it would look like. Still too much work. Then I did a check-in trying to figure out what the hell, how would the system actually look like step by step. Still too much work. In the way that again, if we took the original idea that I had for Zetamon and we translated it 1-to-1 into the surveying system, where you are a member of a survey corps, it is your job. I'm also maybe even leaning on you being a scientist, perhaps. But your job is to go into the wilderness and catalog weird little effed up Zetamon that you encounter. Because there are so many. The world is filled with them. So you would, step by step, grow closer to the Zetamon. I don't mean closer as in like emotionally. I mean like you would literally keep your distance because you don't want to get hyper beamed. And as you moved closer, you would like roll on tables to discover what their features are. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps for each Zetamon, 2 of which have you rolling on 4 unique tables. This might be too much. Dale says, Dale's still playing Pokemon Y. His roster is Greninja, Charizard, Diggersby, Talonflame, Lucario, and Lapras. Good choices all around. I see someone took the free Lucario you get halfway through the game. And the free Charizard. Dale, I know you're playing Pokemon Y, but I'm like, are you a Charizard X or Charizard Y kind of person? Dallas is not bad. It's only 9 steps in GURP space, but there are sub-steps and rolling like 10 times in some of them. Okay, so I did lie. In the strangeness step, you roll a number of times on a mega table of possible traits, based on a particular element that I'm not gonna explain because I don't have the breath or the time to do it. So the strangeness step could have been anything from like 3 to 5 additional rolls on unique tables. I don't know, man. This seems like an awful lot of work. Oh, there's the music, by the way. So I decided, I made another document and I'm like, okay, what are the traits shared among all of these rodent zetamon? By the way, here's all the rodent zetamon. And I know what you're thinking, Maxi, first up, these are Pokemon. Yeah, but we're gonna we would be breaking them down in zetamon terms. And in case you're thinking, Maxi, that's actually not a lot. That's actually quite a few. Well, I want you to think about it like this, you little freak, okay? Imagine, take the entire pool of Pokemans and then break it down into 12 groups. Clearly, it's not gonna be a lot. Now, is this 1/12 of 1025? No, some groups are overrepresented, some are underrepresented. I actually feel rodents are pretty underrepresented in Pokemon. And I know what you're thinking, but Maxi, what about all of the Pikachu clones? By the definition that we have, not all the Pikachu clones are actually Aries zetamon. The categorical description of a Aries zetamon is a small rodent-like creature, like a rabbit, like a mouse, like a ferret, that walks on 4 feet. That is its definition. So going by that definition, this is literally all of the Pokemon that would fit that definition. Maxi, why are some in gray boxes? That's to make me not look at them because they're evolutions, and we will worry about evolutions later. Or as I'm calling it, zetamorphosis. Anyways, but we'll get there. So you may be thinking, Maxi, so you did an awful lot of work and got no progress. You're telling me you wasted your time, Maxi. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. The point of all of this research, as much as it is to find out what doesn't work, is to find out what does work. And one thing, if I can find where I left it somewhere. There we go. So, one thing that I am happy that I found is that I have effectively created the stat array for this game. And this dictates how moves are going to work. Oh, I will walk you through the stats that a zetamon will have. Zetamons, of course, will have a species and a stage represented by a Roman numeral. They have HP, which is how much damage they can take. Damage is taken in multiples of 10. Maxi, wouldn't that be unnecessary math? It's just to make numbers look larger, okay? If you have an attack that does 1 damage, it's a little bit less interesting than a move that does 10 damage or 20 damage. You get me? HP is... Everyone has a base HP, and HP is modified whenever you get a bonus to body. Body is also the attribute for moves that use your entire body. For instance, a tackle. Tackle would be a move that uses body as its main modifier. Attack is a dice that your zetamon rolls for attacking. Your dice goes up in value when you zetamorphosize into a higher stage. The default is 6. The bonus to your attack rolls is based on whatever part or trait of your body you're using. If you are playing as a zetamon with arms, and you're doing an arms move, you add whatever values here. If you're using a sharp part of your body, like claws, Blades, you get it. You roll plus sharp. Pointy, blunt. And lastly, please, I'll figure out a better name for special. Reactor is essentially any kind of elemental attack. Those use that trait. Defense is the value that your opponents must roll at or higher in order to hit you. Your defense is modified by your armor value. Heart? I'm not sure if heart really describes it. So defense would also be kind of like dodge. It is essentially a combination of those two concepts. And lastly, of course, we have speed. Speed is modified by your legs, if you have them. Legs is also another category of move. And locomotion, which is kind of a basic stat you gain based on your body type. For instance, a zetamon with that is bipedal, aka it has 2 feet, will generally have a speed of 1. They can move 1 zone away as part of their turn. You also gain additional speed as part of legs. The leg stat is so funny to me. You're telling me I'm the one designing this. Arms is kind of hilarious. I wish I could come up with a better name. You know? But these are essentially, you know, as you roll your boy fists. I guess fists is an option. I didn't want to use the term hands because not everyone's gonna have like manipulators, but you know, there's something to be. Although, I don't know. I guess my particular issue. You know what? We'll get there. There's probably still room to like narrow this down, but nonetheless, like the general traits behind a zetamon's design and appearance is that first and foremost, what it uses to move affects its base speed. So, for instance, you know, if you are, do I have it down here? Where the hell speed? Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Maybe not even on this sheet. I put it somewhere. Don't worry about it. Now, Maxi, what is the point of all this? Why don't we just randomize all of it? And I feel like there is a purity. Is purity really the word that it gets lost here? There is something that is lost to me if the traits that you roll for your zetamon don't directly affect its stats. Peter says, when you do so much research, it's hard to find something. Respect for all that work, though. Again, if I wasn't going at like 100 miles an hour in my head, I would stop and really find it. Nonetheless, you know, I feel like there has to be, at least for me, the kind of design that I like. There needs to be a connection between the attributes of your zetamon and its appearance. I feel like that is kind of necessary, at least for me. And you may be thinking, Maxi, is this all just for stats, Maxi? It's actually to me, it's actually partially for the fiction. Like, I have trouble believing, for instance, if there is a huge zetamon in this setting, I would expect it to have a lot of HP. I would expect its description to tell me partially how it works. So, for instance, it's a creature like Snorlax in this setting would 100% be all body. I don't think it would have low speed, perhaps not even any armor at all, and it wouldn't use any of these stats to attack. It would actually probably use body to attack. Do zetamons do things outside of sea sports? Yeah, I like you bringing back sea sports. Part of your job is to see them out in nature, so I feel like a lot of your actions will involve you envisioning yourself out in the wilderness exploring, you know, and of course seeing these creatures living in their natural habitat, you know. Visual geographic, you know. I mean, like, because one of the big, and the timer's gonna go off in 40 seconds, by the way. But one of the big aspects that I'm envisioning with this game, is the sense of being away from civilization, the sense of really being on an adventure. You know, as I mentioned before, a lot of the Pokemon games, they're very human-centric. It's you versus other people controlling little creatures. And, you're city to city, in some cases, urban environments, and I feel like that takes away from the sense of adventure. It takes away from the sense that these are creatures that are powerful and dangerous and interesting and also unknown. And I feel, from a design standpoint, framing it around you discovering these new strange creatures is a good justification to have you create them and roll them as you go. But also, building on the sense of discovery that is what, at least for me growing up, this is what I loved about these kind of games. The idea that you would walk into a new zone and a new creature would pop out. Now, I'm going to get up and stretch. I would strongly suggest you do the same. But if not, I don't know, I'm not your mom. On this stream, we respect breaks. Headphones come off. I'm up on my feet. The camera tracking is broken, but that's okay. So, I'm thinking. I'm doing the thing in my head, as I'm. Before stream began, I had done already a whole morning of work, and I'm sitting on my chair, and I'm thinking, this seems like an awful lot of work. And you may be thinking, oh no, that's a bad sign. When the creator themselves is kinda. When the creator themselves is second guessing their choices, clearly that's a sign that everything is about to go downhill. And the answer is, of course, no, absolutely not at all. I'll get to your question in a second, Peter. And by the way, don't worry about asking questions. The reality is that I've already thought about a bunch of these things. And if I haven't, it's a good thing to have someone ask me to figure out stuff by myself. Peter says, kind of wondering if the exploration part would have like different biomes. Absolutely. 100%. One of the things that I'm considering, and to me this makes sense, is that whether the kind of zetamon you can encounter are dependent on the environments that you go to. That to me makes sense. It is unfortunately kind of causing a little bit of a seam where like I have to think about another design element. Oh, for sure. Probably what I could do is that I could probably take inspiration from my Monster Hunter inspired TTRPG and have the player discover various kinds of biomes, and within those biomes they can partake in particular actions. We'll see when we get there. Another thing that I'm considering maybe doing a beta release. Again, we're far away from that, but I might want to do a beta release just to test out the numbers for the stats and stuff like that. I might do a stream or two, maybe invite a couple friends and we just do zetamon battles back and forth, perhaps. Okay, so Maxi, explain to me, Maxi, why do I care about my zetamon having sharp or pointy or blunt? And that's because, as part of studying all of the moves, I realized that they are in fact broken into categories, or they're categories you could envision from them. There are moves that utilize the arms in general, like Fire Punch and Thunder Punch. There are abilities that use sharpness, such as claws, etc., etc. Dallas, you have activated my trap card. Dallas says, how do you determine whether you can have a move? That it's based on these categories. If during zetamon creation you don't get blunt or pointy or sharp, you don't have access to those abilities. Now I know what you're thinking. Dallas may be saying, okay, Maxi, but what if my zetamon has access to nothing? And this is where I bring you back to the beginning. I mentioned, what if Snorlax existed as a zetamon, or a thing like Snorlax? I mentioned that Snorlax would have all of its points in body, which means it would have higher HP, but it would also, everyone has access to body type moves because everyone has a body. Body type moves are things like tackle, things like, let me just go over, I know where they are. There you go. Attack with the body as a whole is the most basic move and everyone will have access to it. flailing, slamming, crashing, charging, bashing, balling, spinning, rolling, blitzing, rushing, whipping, pressing, assaulting, coiling, tantruming, pouncing, lashing. You get it. What about ghosts? What about ghosts? Ghosts are not real. Everybody has a body. What can I say? Sometimes I say really, really meaningful things.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
You know, I'm kind of, you know, I have a way with words. Maybe I wrote books for a living in a different life. Where was I? Okay, so a zetamon like Snorlax would have high body and a high attacking stat for body moves. So moves that are body type, first off, you would only have access to them if you have the relegated keyword, which everyone will in the case of body, because otherwise they would not have an attacking move. And those moves would look as, you know, you roll attack plus body. Now, Maxi, why attack? Your attack die goes up as you zetamorphosize. As you grow up through zetamorphosis, your attack die goes up. So that's a little bit of future proofing on my end. You know, a stage 2 would be a d8 plus body. So, you know, if I'm attacking as a stage 1, you know, big ol' Snorlax boy, you know, it would be d6 plus whatever my body stat is. Could be 1, could be 2, could be 3, could be 4. Perhaps not 4, but, you know. And yeah, so for instance, let's say, I will tell you now that the table of traits will be weighted depending on which specific Zeta form you are rolling on. For instance, there is, where did I put it? I guess it would be this. No. This, there we go. So I believe it is the Libra Zetamon. The Libra Zetamon are single shape body with body that are either no limbs, only arms, or only legs. These guys, you know, there's a chance that you end up rolling no limbs at all when you create these guys. Meanwhile, for something like a Taurus or Leo or Aries, it is incredibly unlikely, very unlikely, that you will roll up the ability to have arms, but it will be there. I am legitimately thinking that if it's a D100 table, it will probably be like a 1% chance of arms, because it's really rare to have a quadruped that can also use its front paws as hands. You get it. So, back to where we were a moment ago. So, all of these, oh my god, not a jinx. So, all of these serve the purpose of breaking down the elements that you can roll on the table when creating a zetamon, but also creating a practical approach to the way that you gain moves / skills / whatever we're calling them. You know, if you get a zetamon with a lot of quills and spikes, it would make sense that you have access to pointy moves, and those pointy moves have a move identity. Where did I put it? I think I put it at the very top. I did put it at the very top. Okay. Dallas is one. I do want to clarify one thing. Dallas, you're assuming that the damage that you do is based on your attack die. The damage is based on the move itself. So move will have like definite damage types, and they will usually be modified. The way that I envision it, they're modified by your attack bonus, whatever it is. Although, yeah, I'm assuming a damage range of I think 4 hits is perfectly fine for a zetamon to go down in 4 hits. Perhaps even less than that. Perhaps 3 hits, I think. We gotta figure that out when we get to the math. That's why I said that, you know, I may want to do like a combat beta just to figure out the numbers. You know, I'd like the idea of, like, you know, making some template or involving like a simple zetamon generation, and we just, you know, do a tournament or something, just to figure out the numbers. But other than that, Maxi, what about so there's a bunch of move types, Maxi. What is their identity, Maxi? So, what I was thinking is that there's a bunch of, as part of coming up with all the moves, I came up with what must be like, I don't know, 50 keywords, 50 unique aspects that this move can do, or things that it can do. And I'm telling you right now, I came up with a bunch of original stuff. Looking through Pokemon, about like when I was like 20% through all the moves, I had basically already come up with all the keywords that I could just adapt or be inspired by. Everything else was just me like looking at names or concepts and being like, well, what if this was a thing? There's not a lot of variation in Pokemon moves, I'm not gonna lie. So I envision punches or arm-based moves as being the most varied. They can have the most keywords to them. But again, a more equal pool means a least consistent kind of like personality, and that's okay. A jack of all trades is perfectly fine. I envision kicks as being all about limiting mobility or causing enemies to be stuck, and also gaining movement on the action as well. Slash abilities are all about, or sharp abilities are all about just high damage, and I'm okay with that. High damage, perhaps with downsides and or with additional effects. Pierce are all about, going through armor, negating additional armor, or perhaps even applying additional effects, regardless of whether they hit or not. Strike are the CC. They apply keywords like dizzy, stuck, being trapped. They affect multiple targets at once. That's the way that I envision it. And shoot abilities are all about range. This is the one thing that they all share in common, is that they all have access to ranged abilities. Everyone else has to fight zetamon in the same zone as them. Shoot abilities, which use the reactor keyword or whatever, are able to target at range. That is their unique strength. Now, could I perhaps crunch some of these types? Perhaps. I'm not entirely sure as to how I would go about doing that. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I already kind of narrowed down. There were originally going to be like mouth moves, also known as my nickname in high school. My
This is why I don't respect streamers.
Anyways, so my issue now, having done all of this research and having all these ideas in my head, I'm looking at the workflow required for someone to play this game, and it is definitely a little bit too high maintenance at the moment, which means we have to do some creative problem solving. And I've always said this. Game design is all about solving problems. So I'm gonna walk you right now through what I envisioned to be zetamon creation. Now, I envision zetamon creation kind of like playing Pokemon Snap, in that you, in the game world, you envision yourself exploring the wilderness and encountering a new creature. When you first encounter it, you simply just roll the species die, because all you see is just a burst of movement or whatever, and you only see a general shape. For instance, in the case of Aries, you see, a rodent-like small quadruped shape just fly by. And, the following step would be for you to, go after it, or perhaps, move closer, at which point you gain two additional things. You gain the shape of the zetamon, which would be based on a series of archetypes. I came up with way too many, so this probably needs to be like, again, I was looking at real life animals, which you definitely should. And I'm like, okay, well, what if it looks like this, or it looks like that, or it looks like this? And you would also get, the locomotion would be gained from the specific zeta type, or whatever we're calling it. So, an Aries is a quadruped, it walks on 4 legs. which means that it has a default speed of 2 or whatever. That's how many spaces it can move during its turn or whatever. Originally, I wanted this to be almost not a drawing exercise, but I feel like having a visual aid for your zetamon is important. So I wanted the one thing that the player sees when they first encounter the zetamon is a shape and a pair of eyes. And I have like a whole document of like animal shapes and eye shapes and like, you know, of course, you know, with some stylized comic book ones. And I'm like, you know, I just felt like if the player got to see the creature's eyes first, that would infer the creature's personality. Having essentially a blob of a drawing with a pair of eyes. The following steps would be literally you rolling on tables to define the body. One of the things that I never realized about Pokemon is that you really don't know what their skin is. What I mean by this is that, like, do you think Bulbasaur has scales or fur or skin like a mole rat? What does a Bulbasaur feel like? You know? And a part of me is like, and I'm like, Maxi, is this important, Maxi? And I'm like, well, okay. So Bulbasaur has frog skin, says Peter. Okay. What about Charmeleon? Charmander, forgive me. Is Charmander scales like? And I know you're thinking, Maxi, these are really easy, Maxi. Okay, clearly Squirrel has like a frog skin, so scales. And Charmander's a lizard, so scales. Okay. Could you please tell me then, what does Nidorina's skin feels like? Because it starts out clearly as a mouse. It's clearly a mouse. Does it still have fur? Yo, hi, hello, Larry's. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Please check the rules in the description. Prism says rhino skin. How would you describe rhino skin? Sandpaper. Delicious. Yeah, that's fair, Peter, by the way. I read your comment earlier, by the way. The poison will make you feel nothing. That's true. Leathery, thick skin. Okay. But I'm like, Nidoran female goes from clearly being a rodent to being like a scaly dino to being like a big time scales. And Nidorino's even worse because Nidorino goes into like almost like it looks like a frog like Boyo on the second stage. And I'm like, does it go into a frog skin? You know? So in the case of Nidorino, as we talked about last time, you know, Nidorino goes from being a rodent to being a frog to being a dinosaur essentially, with scales and thick armor plates. So that right there, kind of a problem, right? I like Prism coming in with the facts. I like that. So an awful lot of troubles, right? And we're not even done, because the way that I envision Zetamon creation is that after you roll for body and skin and feet and tail and head and nose and mouth and ears, then you roll to get freaky with it. Then you roll on the strangeness table, and you would roll X number of times depending on whether on several amount of factors. Essentially, the way that I envisioned it is that every trait of your Zetamon, if you roll the trait that didn't give you a bonus to a stat, you would gain a trait point. So essentially, every trait that you rolled would give you a bonus to something. So you would roll that many times on the table, and then it would give you weird ass things like the little weird ass boys have, you know, like. Let's go back to our chart over here, you know? Charmander clearly has a flame tail. That would be like, you know, a kind of option that you could get in the generation table. One would think, one would hope. And then at this point, you finally roll affinities and elemental weaknesses. And I know what you're thinking, Maxi, why would you wait this long? Why would you wait this long to find out what they're weak to or what they're not weak to? And my reasoning for that is that I want to keep this as like the last thing that the player actually generates, because I feel like if a player runs into a zetamon and the first thing they look at is the type matchups, they immediately go, okay, I actually don't care about this one. And that's like sad. It's metagaming in a way that I don't like. But it's also like not the way that like these monster catching games work. The way that they work is that you catch a guy, and once you have him, you finally look at him and you go, oh, it's pure bug, and then you put it in the trash. You know? So a part of me thinks it would be nice if that's the final step. And then literally the final step is you literally putting all the information together in a kind of playbook. And then you have your report of what your zetamon looks like. Now, as you have no doubt surmised, this is an awful lot of work. Also, it's better that you base the types off of biology, in my opinion. Again, like, I like that. I like that because to me that makes sense. If I see a big old creature, clearly I would assume they have more HP than the average creature. If they have big old fangs, I assume they are able to attack with those fangs more effectively than, you know, a guy with no fangs, you know? Just a mouth with no teeth, you know? My boy Grimer over here. I think Grimer has teeth? Actually, I don't think Grimer has teeth. Alolan Grimer has teeth. That's what it is. That's what it is. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Alolan Grimer. Yeah, me and Peter shaking hands. There we go. There we go. I would like to give myself me giving myself a medal. Me giving myself a medal for remembering that Alolan Grimer has teeth. So this is an awful lot of work. So as I was thinking, using my noggin to envision solutions to problems, I just left this open in my. I'll leave this image open. This image makes me feel good. I was thinking about, if I'm gonna have the player ultimately make a playbook for their creature, why not just have playbooks be a thing that exists in the game? This is, by the way, is the playbook for the tabletop role-playing game Root. This is for the class the Arbiter. Now, if you don't know what a playbook is, playbooks are the way that Powered by the Apocalypse games and games inspired by that do classes. Instead of you having to copy information off of a rulebook or having to like build your character from aspects of a class in a D&D like game, instead you just print out the playbook, and this playbook has your starting traits, gives you options to create the character, and also has your upgrade path is here. As you unlock abilities, you literally check them off, unlocking them and getting access to them permanently. Now, here is the dealio. There is a possibility, there is a world in which I could take Zetamon and have each Zetamon body type be a playbook. My only issue is that requires like a large number of playbooks available, and like I want this to be a game that you can just like grab a notebook and start playing, and this definitely does not encourage that. Like 12? Well, see, Dallas is like 12, right? And perhaps it could just be 12. But I was thinking that like there's definitely like there are sub body types within certain like Zetamon C types or whatever we're calling them. There's definitely subtypes in some of them. I don't know because there's weirdos. Peter said earlier, this process seems interesting and good, but I think there should be a way to quickly generate creatures that when you suddenly get dropped in a field and see a bunch of mons. So, my issue my issue with creating a system for just rapidly generating mons is that I have trouble believing that a player who wants to just see creatures is not just gonna use the quick and fast method instead of, you know, the one built in. I have trouble believing why a player wouldn't just use that to populate the entire Pokedex, Zeta Dex perhaps. And my other issue is part of the game, part of the fantasy of the game is the Zex. Peter did not mean it to be funny. I know Peter did not mean it to be funny, but that is pretty good. That's pretty good. The Zegs. The Zex. The Zex. Anyone else know about this thing? They call it okay, alright. I did mean no regrets. I love it. There's the post that I'm looking for. Anyways. So you know, we out here suffering, right? We're out here suffering. I would like to make playing this game as easily as possible. I recognize in my past games that I have been very much reliant on printouts and handouts. And while that's good, and there's nothing wrong with that, I would like to create a system so that anyone can play the game with just a notebook. Dale asks in chat, why must Team Flare show up everywhere? Well, they do have a flair for the dramatics.
This is why I don't respect streamers.
Anyways, really bold of the Pokemon Company to have a whole faction of just an enemy team that is just fashionable people. So I wonder, right? I wonder. And the other thing that I'm coming back to is that I wanted to create a system where anyone could create a visual representation of their zetamon, because I felt in my little heart of hearts that it would be easier for someone to be attached to their zetamon if they could see them visually, other than just in their mind's eye. Perhaps this is a fool's errand. So perhaps it would just be wiser to ask people to use their imagination. Maxi, that sounds kind of condescending. I really did not mean it like that. You know, much like Peter did not mean to have me say the Zex. Perhaps we could instead let the viewer, the reader, the player envision their own little fucked up creatures. Because in that case, I do feel that we could very much summarize character creation. Let me go and copy, like, literally, like, we're gonna copy all of this and then literally just make it like, no, not Comic Sans, spare me. Okay, so character creation is currently as follows. Species, step 1, number 1, species, shape plus locomotion. This really should both be the same, because, like, if you have a shape, that includes the locomotion. So you know what? Shape and locomotion as one thing. Eyes, which is, this is probably gonna just, I'm probably gonna make this personality instead, if I were to make a summarized version. The personality, you know, do they look dopey? Do they look cheery? Do they look, you know, cool, exciting, dangerous? Followed by close and details 1, which is body, skin, feet, and tail. Oh god, what? Why am I like this? Why am I like this, guys? Why would I ask you to imagine the creature's feet? Oh my god. Maxi, is there something you want to tell us, Maxi? I really don't. I really don't. in looking at this picture, I'm like, they all have different feet, man. Clearly, if I ask you to picture like a rat, but I'm like, bro, what if the rat had chunky feet? And if you draw them, the game gives you feet pics. There you go. See, Peter gets it. Peter gets it. Peter gets it. Vinegar Fett, thank you. My favorite Star Wars character, Vinegar Fett. The Tails 2, which was, of course, head, nose, mouth, and ears. Oh my god. This has all got to go. This has all got to go. I'm looking at this now. This is ridiculous. And then the fun part, roll random body parts. And lastly, of course, is elemental weaknesses / affinities. Whatever the hell I'm calling them now. Prism says, again, there's literally a minigame in Explorers where you identify Pokemon by footprint. Damn it, I'm gonna have to play Explorers now. God damn it. Damn it, Prism! Damn it, Prism, you're giving me homework, Prism? 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 I'm noticing a theme here. Anyways. And the last step is literally, you know, submit your report, which, does this even exist anymore? I don't know. Let me just really quickly what if zetamon had an express creature creation system? Now, Maxi, you literally just said, if there's a fast version, the players won't use the slow version. Yeah, so we're gonna make a fast version anyway. We'll make the fast version that everyone uses instead. You know, instead of having a fast version and a slow version, we'll just make a fast version that everyone uses. Also, I'm supposed to be on break. I'm gonna get up and stretch. Welcome back to... We've been streaming for 1 hour already. Time flies when you're losing your mind. I want you to understand that this design process for me is literally the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme of Charlie Day in front of the board covered with photos and red string. That's me. Pepe Sylvia this game is my Pepe Sylvia. Peter says, first make the slow version, then make the fast version, and then you can achieve the perfectly balanced version. Perfectly paced. Yeah. Again, I think this might be it. Because the ultimate fast version is you just roll a bunch of dice and you just record your results. And that's a little too fast. I want a little bit of a sense of discovery. So, I have stretch, by the way. You know what? I should probably do the streamer thing. Hey, just letting you know that if you enjoy the stream, please consider leaving a like. It actually helps a lot. And this stream is supported by viewers just like you. Consider sending me a donation through coffee.com/mkirin to support me. That's me. You can also get my games over on itch.io, including my latest novel, Memory Leak. They're all available to download for free. If you do download them, please leave a 5-star rating. It actually helps a lot. Anything but a 5-star rating. Anything... No. Only a 5-star rating. I don't want to go on my preamble, my rant about how like rating systems don't actually matter. And if you really care about someone's work, you should give them 5 stars, because otherwise you're sending me to the bottom of the search list. Okay, so the current system. The current system is as follows. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, perhaps 2 elemental weaknesses per zetamon, 17 dice rolls. We're gonna narrow that down a little bit, okay? So perhaps, hear me out, okay? Hear me out, okay? Perhaps instead of a species, of which there's 12 types. Let me just put all the zodiacs in there because I love them. Instead of literally inputting a table with 12 options, what if, hear me out, I'm a freaking genius, I'm a freaking design genius, okay? We have, instead of making a roll species then shape inside of that species, we just put all of them on a table, man. We just put all of them on a table. Oh my god, I'm a genius. Oh my god, that's one roll. We have combined 2 rolls into 1 roll. Me when I was working at the bakery, and I'm like, dude, what if we put a bread instead of bread? It's like double bread. Anyways, it didn't last long at that bakery. Type 1, 3 special features, 3, 5 rolls. That's probably where we're going. Oh my! I actually just realized that this doesn't even include the colors. Oh my! I forgot about the colors. I would very much. Okay, so sidebar. Okay, so one thing that I feel I came up with that I feel is kind of genius is that instead of telling, now get ready because this is some good game design. Okay, I have struggled in the past, namely Monster Blade, my Monster Hunter inspired tabletop role playing game, with the idea of randomly generating color schemes, because you end up with color palettes that make no sense, make you look like a goddamn Neopet. I really should have like a boo button because that joke deserves to be booed. I'm sorry. No offense to Neopets. For Monster Blade, I had you roll on colors essentially. So that led to like, this monster is blue and red. What a wonderful color scheme. Or this monster is black and black. Peter says, I love bright colors. Random color sounds like burning heaven to me. Now, Peter, you won't believe this, but you can still have your freaky you can still have your freaky ass colors, Peter. What I'm gonna do, and I feel like to me this makes sense. This also, we're going back to the biology of these creatures tells you something about them. Your elemental weakness decides what your colors are, or more importantly, it decides what your colors are not. So, as I mentioned here near the end, okay? So, for instance, if your zetamon is weak to aqua, you cannot have blue, cyan, indigo, or purple as your colors. And to me, again, I'm not telling you what your colors should be. I'm telling you what they can't be. And I feel like removing that choice makes it enough so that the player can finish drawing the circle, if you know what I'm saying, you know? And I know what you're thinking, Maxi, you've only taken a handful of colors out of the palette. I envision that every zetamon will have at least 2 elemental weaknesses. So, you know, if you're weak to, let's go over here. If you're weak to aqua and fire, then you cannot use the colors, you know, blue, cyan, teal, whatever, or, you know, red, purple, black. And, you know, that locks off some colors for you. And then you have to consider the creature you created and ask yourself, okay, well, without those colors, what can I create, you know? And you're like, well, I guess this guy would be more of like, you know, like a pinkish and tan. Let's go with that. Nomia's favorite color scheme when a creature is skin colored. Peter asks, would zetamorphosis change types and or weaknesses? Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Peter says, also recently saw an RPG where you have a table for the color of clothes and eyes. One potential option included transparent. I love that. Also, Dailies said earlier, Neopet brushes were the original NFTs. I'm not booing. That's fair. That's fair. I respect that. It is funny because I keep talking about this game and Kitty's like, you should play Neopets, Maxi, just to have some context. And then I'm like, must I? Must I play Neopets to find out? Can't someone tell me? Can't my friends who have played Neopets tell me what it's like? Get ready, get ready. That's summoning Chippy. That's certainly summoning Chippy. It would summon Ronnie. It would summon Ronnie out of hiding. So you know, this is something. This is definitely something, you know. So instead of, let's adapt the old system into a faster express system for creating mons. So species and shape become one thing. So instead of you rolling on whether you're whether you're like, you know, a rodent or, you know, I guess a rodent, a canine or a feline, some sort of horse, a crab, a lion, you know. GP says, I was trying to write a thought about color generation tables, so I missed whatever was meant to summon me. I love you, Chippy. It was me dunking on Neopets. So instead, we come up with the body types for each individual Zeta species, and then we put them on a D100 table. That saves 2 rolls right there, baby. The only issue is that it will not be a fair table because, you know, you can't mathematically fit 12 into 100 neatly. I feel like we are all aware of this. So some will be weighed, and I feel like that makes sense. I feel like the odds of being a Gemini are relatively low. There's Gemini right there. In case you don't know what Gemini is in this setting, by the way. It's multiple smaller zetamon in symbiosis, so little fucked up little guys. Chippy says, I think they did try to do NFTs regarding Neopets and got bullied out of it. LOL. I don't know. I'm not a Neopet scholar, but I am a passive observer. D144? No. I like Dallas being like, but what if you added another dice roll, Maxi? We'll make it a D100 because life is not fair. That's why. D12 times D100. You guys are so you guys are so helpful. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. By the way, you guys are helpful, but just not derogative. Derogatory. So in that case, number 1 is shape roll, which includes species and locomotion. Species which come with locomotion built in. To me, that seems fair. In fact, I actually think that what we could do is that the species come with built-in elements, actually. I feel like that might work. Now, Peter is asking. Peter, I got you. Peter is asking about regional variants / delta species. You think I don't got you? You think I don't got you? Would there be a system for making zetamon of the same species slightly different? 100%. D12 times D10 requires only 2 dice, like a D100. Okay, so Dallas, you're 100% correct. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with the puzzle solved thing, and then I'm gonna shoot you with the gun because yes, it is. It rolls the same number of dice, but it now becomes 2 results instead of 1 result. See that again? It seems like it's more effective. It isn't more effective. It is in fact the player still has to parse through 2 results instead of 1 result. Again, a D100 it is in fact 2 dice rolls, but it is 1 result. I'm not 100% sure how dwarfism / gigantism would work, but you know, I'm sure someone will figure it out. Maybe I will figure it out eventually. So that comes built in. Perhaps. Yo, hi Gorm. Hello, hello.
Welcome back.
So perhaps one could say the 12s and the 1s. Nah. I think a D100 is perfectly fine. Peter says that's a problem for future Maxi. It's true. Hi, Gorm. So let's envision, for instance, that result XX equals rodent. Your zetamon is small, walks on 4 legs, and is cute. There you go. Definitely meet writing rules for sure. As opposed to the 10s and the 1s, I'm not sure. Now, I do think this gives us the freedom to have unique body types within each unique species. For instance, having spent the last several days looking at rodents, I definitely do think there should be a different body shape between a mouse, a rat, a squirrel, and perhaps even the fabled chinchilla. So perhaps one could say we'll come up with 100 different body types, perhaps. Computer, 100 divided by 12, please. 8.3. 8 body types per one. We might be able to make it work. I definitely feel, because this is a complaint people have of the Pokemon series, where like in the Pokedex for something like Pikachu, it says it's the mouse Pokemon, but we don't see any mice in Pokemon, so how do they know? The fabled Chinchou. And also this guy, I'm thinking about this guy. Anyone else thinking about this guy and his newt? I'm just thinking that, why isn't no one asking about this guy and his snoot, He's got that snoot. It's made for snooting around. Dude, if I look like this, I would get so many pets if I looked like this. Apparently, the lady who designed Pikachu said that she designed Pikachu after Mochi. Which I have to say, original Pikachu looks an awful lot like a chinchilla. I'm just gonna say. People were like, oh, she designed it after a squirrel. And I'm like, Pikachu does not look like a squirrel. What are you talking about? It looks like a chinchilla. We're not going to species investigate Pikachu today. Maybe another day. Anyways, so your shape roll. You're a rodent. Blah, 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 blah. Because you are a rodent, you get the following stats. +2 movement. There's also an actual animal called Pika. That's true. They also named a cell after Pikachu, or some sort of bacteria. I forget what it was. Wasn't it like an energy conduit or whatever? Anyways, +2 movement. You get 50 HP by default because you're an infant, you're a baby. Perhaps 30 HP, but you get it. It was a protein. Thank you. I love that we have so many like chemical nerds in chat. If it wasn't Prism, I knew it was going to be somebody else. There is also a hedgehog gene named after Sonic. That is also true. etc. So in that case, your starting stats will be built based on your body type. I do. Me at the altar next to my beautiful wife, when they ask me if I do. Me in the car with my brother and my wife, considering whether we're gonna get Taco Bell. I do want to get Taco Bell. The two happiest moments of my life: marrying my wife and getting Taco Bell. Big shout out to today's sponsor, Taco Bell. Live Mas. So this is making me realize, by the way, that the fun parts of monster creation... Maxi, I love how you can just jump back into work like that, by the way. Yeah. This is the way that it works. The fun parts of creature creation are rolling on the random table. Rolling on the wild magic table is the most fun there is in D&D, so we're gonna do that. How dare you, Dallas? How dare you, Dallas? And I guess, like, perhaps what we could do. You also get, you also gain the hashtag tails, hashtag body, and hashtag freaking what legs, tails, legs, body, and legs moves. Perhaps. Now, actually, one thing that I realized about this is that this means that the default move for Zetamon can just be built into this role. Hashtag legs. We will figure out a better name. Maybe I will even remove legs from the list of moves. Where did I put all the moves? Where did I pull the moves there? By the way, yeah, this document is called Zetamon Moves and Pain. That's the only way that I could describe it. How many different... You know what? I'm calling it now. I am going to make... No, Maxi, don't be... Maxi. Am I gonna merge kick and tackle into just body? Dallas, is this basically a superhero system? Hot damn, that's true. Hot damn, that's true. Give Dallas the jingle. That's so true. That's so funny. That is so funny. I will probably have to merge some attack types for sure, I think. Perhaps. We'll see. We'll see. So, one of the aspects of this game that I have been struggling a little bit with is when you fight Zetamon in the wild, they don't have moves like your Zetamon do because they haven't been trained. They fight using their instinct. And instinct is essentially their built-in actions they take when controlled by the computer, essentially, the computer being you. As opposed to Zetamon on Zetamon fights, trained fights that you would do against another player. And I'm like, when during the creation do you come up with those? And I think they will just be built in. Legitimately, I think they might be built in based on your body type, I think. To me, that kind of makes sense, actually. My only issue that I realize now is that they wouldn't... How would they exploit elemental weaknesses? Well, I guess they wouldn't, actually. I guess they wouldn't use elemental weaknesses now that I think about it. I mean, why would they? They're going by instinct. That's right, fellas. I'm saying it here first. Charmander is dumb as bricks. Charmander could be looking at an Oddish dead in the eye and use Scratch instead of Flamethrower. You heard it here first, folks. You'll also gain your instinct moves. Perhaps we could even have the we could have these be the moves that your Zetamon comes with. Yeah, perhaps these are the built-in actions slash moves slash skills your Zetamon comes pre-built with. Comes with. That is fair, Peter. Peter says, I mean, animal instinct still gives them some sort of intelligence. Birds do neat stuff. That's true. Shoutouts to my buddies, the birds. Big shoutouts to Corvets, by the way. Corvets, they're my favorite homies. Corvets engage in play, a thing that hardly any other animal in the animal kingdom does. It's literally us, Corvets, and unfortunately, dolphins. So, you know. Maxi, what's up with the awe, Maxi? What's up with the awe, Maxi? Don't look up what dolphins do. Like those birds who wall themselves in a hole when they have to hatch eggs, yeah. Yeah, I fucking again. If there's one thing that this game has brought out of me, is bringing out the younger version of me who was obsessed with animals. I loved reading about animals. In fact, I vividly remember holding an animal magazine. I convinced my parents to sign me up for a subscription of like an animal magazine. And every month I would get a magazine about a specific animal. And I remember, oh baby, I remember the issue on puffins. Man, let me tell you, pro-puffin propaganda goes real hard, by the way. Elephants, cats, other carnivores. Okay, you know what? You know what? Dallas is putting me on the spot. Fake? Maxi's a fake animal fan? Chippy says, did anyone else have a very specific animal they latched onto as a kid? Because mine was gazelles. I really like puffins. I really liked puffins and turtles. Not tortoises, turtles. Specifically, toidles. Peter says otters. Dale likes ducks. That's funny. So I will say, oh my god, I should play Su Tycoon. I always wanted to play that game, but I was broke and poor when I was young. As opposed to now, Maxi, when you're not poor or young. And consider supporting me on coffee.com/mkirin. Computer, make a note. Computer, make a reminder. Computer, make a reminder. What would you like the reminder to say? Su Tycoon. Su Tycoon. So. I was gonna say something and I lost it. I got it. It's back. The one thing about living in California is that I used to live really close to the beach a couple years back, and on my walks, I would literally I would walk by the beach, and there was like a little river near the beach, like literally like sea, dunes, river. That's what it looked like. And I remember that I would see freaking otters. I would see otters, just like swimming about, just being little guys, just otters. And then I'm like, damn bitch, you live here? Damn bitch. That was really funny. It was that and little like dune bunnies who lived in the dunes. I love those guys. It was just so eerie just seeing like otters in real life, and I'm like, that guy just lives here. And it's like POV, watching the otter just flow by. Anyways, okay. So the shape roll gives you all the you get a starting package of skills and stuff, right? Then what? We are essentially ignoring a bunch of the steps. So we ignore you. You have now become the same one. I'm gonna keep the color language here consistent so that we know. So I really like the idea of having a personality roll to see what kind of personality or role these guys serve in nature. I kind of like that. Perhaps we will still have that be a personality roll. I don't know if it should be personality, perhaps roll. Maxi, does that mean that there's predators in your setting, Maxi? Does that mean that zetamon kill each other? We're gonna have to talk about that. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I believe it was the one of the lead Pokemon designers. I forget who it was. I think it was the previous guy who was the CEO of the Pokemon company before he stepped down. Whatever. Anyways, Zodiac sign. How dare you, Dallas? He said, one of the original designers. It might even have been Kensuke Mori. But anyways, Maxi couldn't have been Kensuke Mori. He's too busy drawing Pikachu for the 10,000th time. There it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm so rusty. But he said, one of those guys said that he envisioned the Pokemon world as being a place where everyone is a vegetarian. There is no need for, Pokemon don't go around killing each other for food. Of course, this intention went out the window when the Pokemon company decided to be like, yeah, but then what if there was like a Pokemon that was just like evil? What if Marini just said, I exist here just to ruin the lives of every Corsola? And like, I do realize they kind of screwed themselves because they literally have a Pokemon type called Ghost, which is like the living essence of something that died before, and people have got to die somehow. So we ended up in this corner. They ended up in that corner. But I ask myself, as a game designer of my own fucked up little world, do I have to engage myself with the same design constraints? No. So perhaps the world of zetamon is a world where everyone is vegetarian. Perhaps that's the way it works in this setting. Perhaps that's the way it is. Perhaps it is. Maxi, but Maxi, if there are no predators and prey, how does the ecosystem work, Maxi? Fancy you asked. Let me first get up and stretch. Hi, Kendra. Hey, boy.
Hey, boy.
Kendra says, I was listening to something extremely boring for 50 years, not realizing it was Tuesday and I could have been here. That's right. The last time I streamed was exactly April 29th, 1975, baby. That's right. Sorry, patrons. It's been a little while since I last streamed. Hey, everyone. Sorry for the hiatus. I know. Yes, I heard. I heard about the Berlin Wall. Yeah. Back to the Future. What's that? Anyways, I'm up and stretching, by the way. Maxi, you're telling me that you went from 1975 to now, and the only two historical events you thought of bringing up were the Berlin Wall and Back to the Future? Wow, Maxi, I can't believe you forgot. Kendra says, I'm in hell. Oh, come on, sweetie. Sweetie, you're agnostic. You're not going to hell. You're gonna stick in limbo like everyone else. Come on now, Kendra. Come on now, buddy. You're not going to. Kendra's moving tomorrow. LOL. I'm Sfuffer. Sfuffer sounds like the name of a zetamon I would create. Damn it! I just realized we haven't even talked about a naming system. Put it at the back of the bus. Naming system. Kendra says, chat, what are you gonna do once my moving era is over? Who will I be? Perhaps you will figure out whether you're MLM or MLM, I think. By the way, the way that I'm picturing the naming system, in case anybody was concerned that I had no plan, of course I have a plan. Who do you think I am? Anyways, the way that I was thinking about it is that the last syllable of your name will be dependent on whatever you got from the shape roll. We bring it back. So for instance, zetamon of the Taurus variety would probably end in Rus. Orus perhaps. So your name will end in that, and then you will just have to figure out what the first part of the name is based on perhaps the appearance of the creature, the emotion that it evokes, or perhaps even the sound that it makes. And I know what you're thinking, Maxi. That's gonna lead to terrible Pokemon names. Yeah, so what? It's not any worse than what the Japanese Pokemon names are. Vaporeon is literally called showers. Like, listen, it will never be as bad. It will never be as bad as you just naming your zetamon pudding. I'm fine with it, If you make a big ol' bear and you call him, Snugglerus, Snugglerus. That's good enough for me. It's a big bear that you snuggle with, and you call him Snugglerus, Snuggerus. That's good enough for me. I'll take that. I'll take Snuggerus over freaking showers any day of the week. Maxi, don't do it, Maxi. You don't have to go and look at the original Japanese names for the first 151 Pokemon. You don't have to do that, Maxi. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. I'm gonna do it. Pokemon Japanese names. It's bad. It's bad, by the way. Sorry, I just remember that PG's called Popo. I remember that PG's called Popo. In case you're wondering, Maxi, what are the columns here? The last column is literally what they trademarked the name to, by the way. Pokemon trademarked the name Pigeon, by the way. And I love that Raticate is just called Rata. Just called Rata. And I love that Ekans is called Arbo. And Arbo evolves into Arbok. So, I'm gonna say, don't worry about naming your Zetamon something stupid. It will never be as stupid as just Sand. Sandshrew is just called Sand. And then Sandslash is called Sandpan. Yeah, and then Clefairy? Lee Young Cook, how dare you? Oh, Lord. Yeah, and also, what is Clefairy's name in Japanese? Yeah, Kendra, you've been here for 2 minutes. You're gonna have to build a little more max points before I open your K-pop voice on stream. For those who are audio only, Clefairy's Japanese name is Pipi. That's right. Like a penis. You're right. You're right. Me when I'm hungry, food in. Me when I'm eating, food in. Oh, these are terrible names, man. Yeah, Rapidash is just called Gallop. Yeah. So sorry, Magnemite is called Coil, and then Magneton is called Rare Coil. Can you believe this? Doduo is just called Dodo. Dodo. And then, of course, no one can forget. Or the hell is... Yeah, sorry. Coughing and Wheezing were originally called LA and NY for Los Angeles and New York, respectively. Anyone else feeling like an Executor? Nasty and sassy? Or as you would call it, Nassy? Hey, we're barely Smoggy. I knew you would take offense to that. I knew you would take offense to this Pokemon bit from literally 25 years ago. 25 years ago, a developer thought, hey, what if we name this smog Pokemon after smoggy as American cities? And then someone in the marketing department said, nah. Oh yeah, and Chance is just called Lucky. Maxi, are we done here, Maxi? I like that Scyther is just called Strike. Kendra says, y'all, I'm looking at this shelf. Go on. Oh, Ditto's called Metamon. That's pretty meta. Maxi, you forgot to do the rim shot. Yeah, Vaporeon is called Showers. Jolteon is called Thunders. Flareon is called Booster. These are terrible names. Oh, yeah, and then we get to the elemental birds, by the way. Articuno's Freezer, Zapdos is Thunder, and Moltres is just Fire. Fire. These are terrible names. Also, by the way, in case you're wondering, Rotini's name is Mini Ryu, which is literally Mini Dragon. Incredible. So, you know, if you ever want to feel bad about your Satamon's names, I assure you they will never be this bad. Anyways, sidebar over. Kendra, I'm gonna say this. What the fuck? Please don't say sidebar. Please don't have a plush that has realistic human teeth. Kendra, I love you. You're one of my closest friends, dearest confidants. If you're ashamed of the movers looking at all the freaky shit on your shelf, maybe you don't have freaky shit on your shelf. Otherwise, just be like out and proud, you know? You know, Kendra, just like puff up your chest and say, that's right. I'm a freak. I'm a freak, baby, you know? There's a really not safe for work story that I could tell right now, but I'm gonna just leave that for off screen. Anyways, or own a place? Okay, Ronnie, this is the US we're talking about. Hey, Ronnie, hello. How you doing, friendo? Hey, boy.
Hey boy.
Yes, it's awful everywhere. Get good. Damn. You know what? You know, Ronnie's been playing a little bit too much Red Dead Redemption and now has become a toxic gamer, and I'm here for it. Alright, so we have basically summarized all of this, including, I would say all of this, honestly, into this section over here. So your Statamon shape gives you starting stats. You know what, Kendra? I'm not opening it. I know that says walmart.images.com. I'm not opening it. It could still be a Rickroll. You know what? Siska says maybe Kendra likes being judged. You know what? That does seem like a Kendra bit, huh? That does seem like, yeah, maybe Kendra's into it. Who am I to judge Kendra for being a little freak? So I think... Oh, I forgot about... Literally, sharp from mouth. What a thing to write, Maxi. What a thing to write. All this stuff will go in there. Well, I think what I would do instead is that I would make all the fun, exciting parts of the character be dice rolls. Like if you have a big fluffy tail, a long tail, no tail at all whatsoever, a tail shaped like a lightning bolt. Maybe not that one for legal reasons. So you do that. I want to make a note here because we really lost the plot. We got lost in the sauce. POV, it's me inside of the marinara at Olive Garden, being like, I don't know why I'm here. And the poor waiter who gets paid minimum wage is like, sorry, I can't help you. And I'm like, man, what a predicament to be in. Maxi, why did you put yourself in that skit, Maxi? I don't know. See, this show is much like Saturday Night Live, a show where we come up with bits on the fly, and we don't have to come up with good bits. Okay? And every week I have to make new bits from scratch, except for the bits that are good. Like, you know, you said what? Yeah, that's one of the few ones that stays, you know? Marketing said that one resonates pretty well with viewers of our market range, so we're keeping that one. Anyways, roll in nature. This is essentially its personality Is it a gatherer? Is it a fighter? Is it a nester slash builder? Does it just lace around all day? Is it stupid? You know what, Kendra? You're welcome to that. You're welcome to reject my reality and substitute your own. Hey, Maxi from the future, come up with all of these and have them give you something. Perhaps this is where your actual instinct moves come from. Perhaps this is where they actually come from, the way that you actually behave. Nonetheless, so this is like a whole new element that we need to create. After that, I think it just comes the fun part. Literally, the fun, silly dice rolling part. Roll a number of times equal to development stage. I don't know. Zeta stage. Just put the word Zeta in front of whatever you're working on, Maxi, and just go with it. Equal to Zeta stage. For each result, note the feature and record the change. For example, big ol' Tiefers. Big ol' Tiefers, plus sharp. Or, you know, sharp plus 1. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, it's over for me. It's over for me, fellas. See you later. The way I saw that, I felt that sneeze coming. You felt the do what? I felt that sneeze coming the same way that like in the movies when they see like a giant truck is about to hit you and transport you to another world. You know, we've all been there. We've all been there. We all know what that's like. Salud, thank you, Siska. I don't know if you would put salud in there. I guess you would. I guess you would put salud, the accent on the u. Salud. I guess you would. I haven't written Spanish in forever. The fact that I had to figure out if I was even conjugating that verb correctly in English should tell you. Accents are a big old trap in Spanish. You have to figure out where to put them. Okay, so you do that a number of times, and then what? Is that literally it? So it's 4 steps. This gives you a bunch of stuff. This gives you its role in nature. The cool things about it, which you would infer what these traits do in regards to its role in nature based on what you already got before. And then elemental weaknesses and colors. Is that it? Affinities, aka elemental weaknesses. Also, colors. Now, the reason why you roll the fun stuff and then the elemental weaknesses is because you might get a feature in your character's fun, silly dice rolling part that gives you a resistance to a certain element. This means, and I want to clarify this right now, by the way, resistances in this game mean that you don't have an inherent weakness to something. And perhaps we might make it so you can't gain a weakness to it. Resistance doesn't mean you take less damage. It just means you don't take bonus damage from it. I am doing that to reduce the amount of math in the game. I feel like if there's and you know, I don't have the board, I don't have the sign on the screen right now, but pretend that I am tapping the sign that says the biggest enemy for this design project is in fact computation. In a game like Pokemon, you can have the computer do all the math for you in one click. With a TTRPG, the player has to do all the math. And as someone who writes books for a living, I would very much like to not have to do math. So that's where we're at. So this gives you the affinities. I would probably say plus 20 damage to 2 elemental types. You also get colors. Your colors are dependent on what elements. Taps the sign that says nice ass. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your weaknesses remove colors from your potential. Color palette. AKA Aqua removes blues, just blues. We gotta come up with which colors go where, but we'll figure that out. Removes blues, etc. While fire removes reds. So you must come up with the color for your boyo. Pick a main color and a secondary and an accent color I know that this isn't like as in-depth as some may like. That's life. I feel like just 2 colors is better. That's just the way it's gonna be, baby. And that's it? Oh, the name. Okay, yeah. Lastly is the name. You gotta give it a name. Name, which as we have discussed previously, ends in whatever the sign / shape is. The first part is up to you. Up to you. Look at this little freak of nature. Perhaps I would even say like optionale. Draw it now. Draw a little guy. And then you name it. Look at this freak and consider its role in nature and come up with 1 to 2 syllables. Perhaps a sound it makes or an object / thing it is similar to in function or appearance. All right, fellas, I know we've been designing for a lot. I'm gonna tell you, if in 30 minutes I have not burnt out from thinking, we will do dailies. Wait, hold up. No, it's the other way around. If I'm still good to go, we'll keep designing perhaps, but otherwise we might do dailies in 30 minutes. Since we are now 2/3 of the way through the stream, I would like to thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget that you can support the stream by donating through Coffee, becoming a YouTube member. We have new emotes. I might start doing member-only streams. Consider supporting me. Thank you. And now let me take a sip of water before we continue. So, how many rolls have we gone from? This takes us from 15 plus rolls to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say. 5, 6, 7. 7. That's not bad. Yo, hell yeah, Dale. Congratulations. That's a whole lot better and faster. I think we can use a system like this instead and still keep the essence of the system that I wanted originally while making it so much more easier to make. So now, fellas, my dearest confidants, it is time now for us to step into the animal world and perhaps consider the body types that we are gonna use in this fucked up little game. So, would this be easier if I did it in Excel? or Google Sheets for that matter. Let me just take a second, hide both of these screens for a second while I go find a new documenta. New document, please. New Google Sheets document. This would be zetamon Simon tables version, whoever cares. The date for today is 04/29/25 Tuesday. All right, so now I'm gonna want this boyo to be on the right side, and you're gonna be on the left side. And I'm gonna go and we're gonna find my favorite screen in Bulbapedia, which is shape. List of Pokemon by shape. I'm literally like this page has gotten like 1,000 more views this month. It's me. I'm the one who's done this. Now I would like this one here needs to change to the other Firefox. There we go. Perfect. Look at us. We're back. We're back, baby. We're so back. We're so back. All right. So, could you soon me in at about 1:25? This seems good enough. This seems good enough. So first and foremost, I'm gonna make a tab here for number dice roll, perhaps. Just give me a number here, Maxi. You have a number on the left side, yeah, but don't worry about that number, okay? So it's gonna be 1, and then we're gonna do a quick little formula. The cell above plus 1, and that basically gives us a counter. We can just copy this and inject it, and boom, there we go. I want 100 types at most. Are we gonna get to 100 types? Probably not. But there you go. We have to start somewhere. The way we're gonna do the dice roll, there might be a maximum of 100 results. So we will begin there. We will probably have to crunch these a little bit, but we'll get there when we get there, okay? So we're gonna extend you a little bit. We're gonna grab you. We're gonna center you. We're gonna make you bold. We're gonna move you again because I changed my mind. All right, so above that, if you could please freeze me this row, please. And we're gonna change your color to make it easier to parse. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so first off, we have the Zeta sign. So we're gonna begin first with the Aries signs, which are of course all four-legged quadruped rodents and rodent-likes shape. So right away, and thankfully I still have the document up. Let's go. Okay, so I took it upon myself to divide, to go through the entire list of Pokemon by shapes and break them down into groups. Before you, I have what is clearly every single rodent-like Pokemon. It isn't a lot because our description is very, very like narrow, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being a little bit more narrow. So we're gonna look through these guys and just be like, what kind of body type is this? So 100%, one of the body types has to be a rat. Body type, rat. Easy peasy lemon squeezing. I feel like I would be remiss to not have a rat body type. Now, if we must have a second to perhaps envision the features of this attribute, I would say low body, high speed. I would say probably a trait. It's my wife. Hi, wifey. Hello, love. Love. Okay, summary. So, we have. I'm gonna walk you through like the big. Okay, so before stream, I was looking at all of the things, all of the steps required to create a zetamon, and I realized it was an awful lot of work. And if I, as a designer, think it's an awful lot of work, then it's likely that players are gonna think it's even more work. If I put up with it because I love it and I made it for me, the average gamer will probably think it's too much work. So we went from what is essentially like 15 plus dice rolls to make a creature with an awful lot of like minutia to around 7 rolls. We cut the rolls in half, we crunchified them, and I feel like this will make the zetamon easier to imagine. So instead of you roll on a species based on the zodiac, and then you like roll the body type, the skin type, the feet type, the tail type, the head type, the nose type, the mouth type, the ears type. That's an awful lot. Instead, you just roll for a body type. The same way that Pokemon are distinguished by body types, even though, again, Pikachu is the mouse Pokemon, but there's no mice in the world of Pokemon, so how do they know what a mouse is? You get it. Kitty says nice. Oh, that makes that my heart has swollen up to be twice its size, which I should really see my cardiologist about. So instead, we're gonna do body type. So one of the biggest, most if I must say about myself, genius design changes is that instead of you rolling on species and then body shape and then how many legs you have, all of these have been crunched into one dice roll on one huge table. So instead of you rolling a d12 to figure out signs, we just put these on a d100 table with its subtypes. And I feel really smart about that. Now, the timer went off, which means I'm on a break. I'm gonna get up and stretch, or my wife would kill me. The other benefit of this is that it makes creature creating so much faster and easier to make. Because I do recognize that although I like the previous system, I recognize that it's an awful lot of work. And if I can make it, the way that I thought about it without externalizing it, because my brain is going very fast during these design streams, if I can make the system 50% faster, the player will be able to create twice as many creatures. And I feel like that makes for a more fun game. Because this is ultimately a game about encountering fucked up little guys in the wilderness. And really, let's be honest, I don't know what I was thinking. Making you roll for mouth type, ear type. That I feel like these are little details that are probably best left to the player themselves to envision what their guy looks like. It also gives more room for people who want to legitimately make funny looking zetamon. You can just make them look stupid, and I'm okay with that. Like I know, like the meme. In one of the last design sessions, the meme was, I'm gonna make a zetamon that looks like blank, and I know that, from your point of view, you are like, haha, I got you, Maxi. I'm gonna take your game about creatures and I'm gonna make a toilet zetamon, and I'm like, you fool, you're playing my game. You're playing and thinking about my game. I got you. I grow more powerful each day. That's right. Every time you make a toilet zetamon, you think I'm being owned. Actually, you're the one getting owned. That's right. Maxi, I made a toilet zetamon, and you're laughing? Maxi, why are you the Joker in that? What, Maxi, why are you the Joker in that scenario, Maxi? Anyways, don't worry about it. Skibidi-mon. I love Kendra coming out of their cage that they've been doing just fine. Kendra comes out of their cage to just type Skibidi-mon in chat. Yeah, you're allowed to do Skibidi-mon. Spitting straight truth, thank you. Alright, so, by the way, if you're in chat and you come up with an idea, just shout it, by the way. We are currently, at this moment, we are looking for rodent type creatures. There we go. So, I literally dropped the clothes I was folding to land the joke in time. You know what, Kendra? You know what, Kendra? This is for you, okay? Kendra's committed to the bit, and I love them for that. So what kind of body types can the Aries zetamon have? Rat? Mouse? I know you're thinking, Maxi, these are the same. If you think that a rat and a mouse are the same thing, you were definitely not an animals kid growing up. You definitely didn't have a subscription to like Animal Monthly or whatever. Mice are low body, very high speed. They're small, low HP. They're tiny, very very small. What other types? Clearly, there has to be like a bunny. Kitty, don't worry. I'm putting chinchillas in there. Chinchilla. So I did the math earlier, and if we divide 12 by 100, so there's 12 signs, and there's 100 options on this table, that means that there is room for exactly 8.33333 repeating options per zodiac sign, which means we have essentially 8 boyos we can have in here. Maxi, can we afford to put chinchilla in there? Yes. Hamster for sure. Squirrel for sure. I like that beavers are part of this setup, and I'm like, I feel like otters and beavers have to be on here just because they're so well represented in Pokemon. Hedgehog has to be in there too. We're already here. Welcome to. We need a capybara. Capybara is so weird. The only issue is this, okay? If we put capybara and hedgehog, we don't have room for beavers or otters. Do we want to perhaps move beavers to the Leo category? Because I know what you're thinking, Maxi. Why would you move beaver to the Leo category? Because Leo is cats and dogs and foxes and red pandas, and like that's it. There really isn't a lot of dogs. I'm sorry. Like all dogs are like the same guy, and like all cats are like the same guy. What would be the freaking cat type? The Leo cat types? Cat, lion, tiger. That's it. Yento, what's out? I'll be right back. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, so like we could perhaps. Oh, and what about ferret? God damn it. What about ferret? God damn it. We also need ferret. Ferret needs to live in here somewhere. You know what? Am I gonna start crunching categories? Is rat/mouse? Rat or mouse? Bunny or rabbit? I can't. Ferret, my beloved noodle. I think ferret should be, unless we want to put ferret under the amphibian. Ferrets are not amphibians. I think I would sooner put capybara. Okay, capybara, congratulations, you now live under the capybaras now live under the chipmunk. I think chipmunk can live under the squirrel umbrella, I think. I guess if I had to cut a type, I feel like rabbit is... If I say bunny, people will think of rabbit. I think rat and mouse are so close together. I know they're not. Is a flying squirrel different? A flying squirrel would be a squirrel that unlocked the ability... That somehow rolled flying as one of their unique traits. So I have room for 2 more. Ferret has to be one of them. Oh, let's actually look. I made a document with every single rodent Pokemon. So Rattata is essentially a mouse or a rat. We're just gonna register you as that. Raticate is essentially a rat/mouse. Done. Pikachu is a chinchilla. Nidoran female and male are essentially just bunnies. Pichu is a fucked up little chinchilla. Zigzagoon and Leone are essentially just ferrets. I know Zigzagoon looks like a raccoon, but raccoons are actually part of the dog family. Siska says ferrets and otters are mustelids, which are canids. Okay, Siska's so right. Siska's so right. I mean, you know what I should do instead? I should instead have them be by family, actually. Because we can start like updating the other families as we go then. So in that case, hide these for now. Okay, hide you. Okay, I am perfectly okay. Don't change anything. I'm changing stuff. You can't stop me. Cappies may be rodents, but they are so dark coated. Okay, I am willing to listen, Siska. I am willing to meet you halfway. Hold up. Resize column. You're 100. Perfect. Psych mob 100. Psycho mob 100. There we go. Perfect. So, Aries and this Taurus. You're the weirdos. These guys are the weirdos at the very top of the list. Where I have so many. It's here. It's here. Thank God. And don't worry, we're gonna have a lot of fun coming up with humanoid-looking Virgos. Kendra says, could y'all text me throughout the next week to make sure that I'm hydrating? You could make a reminder, Kendra. Kendra, you could also carry a little water bottle with you. We're gonna have a lot of fun when we deal with Sagittarius, by the way, because we're gonna have to come up with names for guy shapes. I think the easiest ones to start with is Taurus, Leo, and Aries, because it's essentially small quadrupeds, medium quadrupeds, and large quadrupeds. Maxi, is a bear a quadruped? By the description, yes. Sure, bears can be on their hind legs, but they mostly walk on 4 feet, so that's life. And if you don't like it, here's where you can stuff it. In a mailbox. Please send all of your complaints to Washington, D.C., the White House, address, so and so and so and so. Okay, so if ferrets are... and otters are part of the Leo family. Otters. And that's also, I guess, house cat, lion, tiger... Ooh, that actually gets really tight there near the end then, huh? Because it would be like dog, cat, dog, fox, raccoon. There's definitely no room for capybaras in there. Am I going to look for... Damn it, ferrets should be in the small dog, big dog. I guess I could move. Keep ferret and rodent. I could, but then that means that we are essentially we're already 1 over when we normally want to have like 8. I guess Dallas was literally talking about this earlier. I would like to keep it all within 1D100 table. We'll get there. I almost feel like I need to have like a tab open for just like different animals, by the way. Guy could be a rarer type. I would like for it to be pretty balanced. I am okay with guys being like a rarer type for sure. I am okay with that. You know what? Maybe what we should do instead is like go through these types and maybe start breaking down guy shapes. Oh my god. Don't talk to me about Pokemon that are just ahead. We will talk about those guys later, okay? It is funny because like Pokemon based on like animals are like really easy to like be like, oh yeah, clearly mouse. Clearly a lion. And then you have like Shellos and Gastrodon. That's gonna be fun to figure out. Or just guys with legs. Maybe what I could do is have a little icon for them. Those are slugs. Well, we'll get there. Quadruped bodies. Okay. So we have... I guess we could make the Leos be the smaller quadrupeds that are not rodents. So we could have like house cat. So if you were okay, so cat, dog, ferret, raccoon, otter, fox. What are other small quadrupeds? Eevee is a weird dog fox combo. Are there medium-sized canines? Is hyena possum? Damn it! I forgot about possums. Siska's gonna tell me right now if a possum is a cat. I think possums are canines. Although I think possums are so rare, I feel like I'm okay if they're not represented with a unique entry. My favorite BT21 is Mang, who was initially some sort of creature wearing a pony mask, but in his lore, eventually he took the mask off and is now Chipmunk, which is very cute. Technically, they're marsupials. God damn it. Puchiana is supposed to be a hyena. Electric and Manectric are clearly some sort of like prairie dog. Bidoof is the word that I'm looking for is a beaver. It is closer to Tasmanian tigers than Siberian tigers. That is funny. I like that. Otters. Luxray, it's clearly supposed to be like a dog-tiger combo. Perhaps a funny-looking puppy. Gleamiao. Oh, where the... I think we can all agree that like skunks and my good boy the possums. Possums can probably live in their own, like, you know, in their own table, which I mean they're not gonna be on this table. Wolf, thank you, Kitty. I guess that's medium size, yeah. I guess that's medium size. So this is 1, 2, 3. 3 canines, just cat, because there really is like no small sized cat or like medium sized felines. Cat, ferret, raccoon. That might work. This might work. Okay, so otters have been represented, raccoons are represented, lion and dog are represented. So now this takes us to large. Let me just double. Zebra, I'm not concerned with zebras. I'm gonna be honest with you, zebras are fine. Pet rat is clearly a squirrel. I hate that Sandile is a quadruped by this explanation. You're an amphibian, shut the hell up. Don't talk to me. By the way, everyone, please enjoy the visage of Emolga. The rare squirrel zetamon that unlocked the ability to fly. Zebras are just weird horses. Siska's not gonna like that. Siska is not gonna respect or like that statement. Maxi, what about the entire Eevee line? They're weird dog foxes. And that's all I want to hear about it, okay? Quilava and Typhlosion, and these are badgers, by the way. They're badgers, by the way. Where do badgers fit, Maxi? I don't know. I guess badgers are pretty big, huh? It feels weird to put badger in the same family as like lions and tigers. Yo, hi Hans, hello. So when I'm thinking for larger boys, clearly we need a boar. Clearly we need boars. We need elephant, lion, tiger, horse. Yeah, Maxi, what do you mean by horse type? I mean like Palkia. That's a horse. I don't know if I want to bother having like a deer type. I want to make it very clear, by the way. When you get this category, the game doesn't tell you that your zetamon is a squirrel. It says that it's shaped like a squirrel. Palkia isn't a horse. Are you sure about that? Then what's this? What's this? Huh? Then what's this, Hans? What do you call that? What is that? That's Palkia. That's Palkia Origin Forme. What do you call that, huh? That's a guy? You know it, baby. Alright, let's see. I don't know what Terrakion, Cobalion, and Virizion are. I guess they're just like deer, I guess. I'm gonna put deer in the category of maybes. Deer. I call it fucked up mostly. Kitty's so right. We need goats and we need a goat. Perhaps goat could be in the medium sized. Because these guys are definitely big boys. Oh, and we need a rhino for sure. Turtwig is the goat. Horse, perhaps horse-like. We have foxes represented, thank God. We have dogs. We got more dogs. We have horse, some sort of equestrian, some equestrian boyos. Perhaps a big old piggle. Dogs. We got dogs represent ghost dog. Now that's a rhino elephant if I've ever seen one. Oh, thank God we're at the end already. That makes things so much easier. So, perhaps goat or sheep? No, just put goat. He's got horns, okay? Siska says, wanna get weird, Maxi? You know it. Elephant seals are closer to bears than whales, and neither have anything to do with dugongs. Besides being mammals. Man, I love that. Nature is so fucked up, man. Nature is so weird. I might consider expanding the length of these guys, considering now being reminded that I'm gonna have to come up with 8 different types of fish. Land fish at that? That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Maxi, why are you ignoring so many of these types? It's because, like, they fit into other categories, okay? Do the smaller ones first. I don't know if I want to commit to talking about shapes today. We can fill in the gaps. I'm gonna just keep going with the types. Speaking of types, Maxi, what kind of Pokemon are you? How do you do the things you do? Oh, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. We have space for one more on each of these. Well, that extra space makes a difference for sure. Now, where did I leave all my types? Okay, so the body types in Zetamon are as follows. I'm gonna add like one more line above to like explain the types so that we're all on the same page. Okay, freeze the top 2 rows, please. So you are four-legged. Rodent likes. Four-legged rodent likes, my favorite category on Steam. You know, I don't play anything but From Software rodent likes. Maxi, did you really have to hit us again with that? Yeah. Four-legged, medium. I mean, like cat/dog likes. Medium cat dog like. Landfish are easy. Why did you become a link, brother? Why did you become a link? There's no such thing as mad dot cat dog, okay? We can fill in the gaps, said Kitty earlier. So now the Tauros are four-legged. They're four-legged large animals. All reptile mammals and birds are landfish. How dare you, Siska? How dare you? How dare you do this to me? I'm gonna put the trouble ones at the end because I really don't want to deal with them. Okay, fine. I'll just put them here. I'll just put them here, okay? Sagittarius are like weird shaped humanoids. They are bipedal. They're bipedal and they're like almost humanoid. Almost humanoid. Can you please make Maxi? Can you please make this smaller? Thank you. After Sagittarius comes Taurus, which we already did. Then we have Virgo. This is gonna be my favorite. Virgo. How many shapes of guys can you like come up with, by the way? Bipedal, humanoid. Like literally, they just look like people. We're probably gonna have to do like, perhaps rely on mythology for this. Perhaps we have a species of smaller ones that look like fairies. Perhaps they come with wings. We could have, we could have them have built-in traits. Perhaps. Capricorn, easy. Capricorn is literally, it is bipedal. It is raptors and reptiles. That one is easy. Can't wait for the Chimeramon. How dare you? Everyone's laughing at me. Aquarius, also easy. Aquarius are amphibians. Four-legged amphibians. They're amphibians. I know how to spell. So, we're looking at like crocodiles, frogs, turtles. If you're squatting and close to the ground, Maxi, the half hour is here. I'm not burnt out yet, Dale. Let me finish this thread, and then we'll see, okay? After that is Gemini. Gemini is multiple small zetamon. AKA please kill me. AKA please free me from this mortal coil. I'm gonna have to come up with categories for all of these goddamn multiple boyos. What is it gonna be? 2 or more guys on the ground? 2 or more guys in the air? 2 or more guys inside my head driving me insane? Maxi, was that meant to rhyme? No. And then we have Libra, which is literally like single shape body weirdo. So we might have to resort to one of the worst things in my experience, which is the idea of having zetamon be based on appliances or objects from the human world. Cancer, of course, will be like relatively easy to do because it's literally members of the crab family. Are you a lobster? Get in, bozo. Are you a spider? Get in, bozo. The subtitles died. I didn't kill them. Did you kill them, Kitty? How about now? Huh? There we go. Thank you for calling it beautiful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Literally, crab likes and crab-like accessories. Brother, the one time I want you to like line break, you won't do it for me, huh? Also, I literally just put crab in there when I meant cancer. There we go. Then it's Scorpio. Scorpio is also easy because it's literally all bugs live there. Literally, hello bugs. Welcome in, all the bugs in here. Ew, Siska makes a good point. I'm gonna make a note here for Gemini. Siska said, how about I just copy your comment, huh? Naked mole rats are they really function like that? That's fucked up. Could you please do me a favor and just like wrap around? Thank you. Okay. Hello bugs, and the last species is of course Pisces. It's me. I'm always last on the list. It is amphibians who have a who have a fin for a tail. Moles have queens and drones? Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right, since we have the animal freaks in chat, no, I should do this later, because this is welcome to the part of the design process where I'm literally gonna just open a tab with a Google search that is just like example of blank animal, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look for aquatic boyos and and raptors and amphibians, and I will start working on these shapes. I do think this is the way to go. So for the sign, as of today, I am going to, I think I need a quick little bio break, I think for sure, to gather myself. I am gonna go take a quick little bio break. I'm gonna send you to the loading screen, but then after that, we're gonna do some dailies. I wanna kind of wash my brain. Anybody else getting brainwashed? Anybody else reading Kendra's fucked up cult books? Anybody else engaging in the act of taking your brain to the laundry? Anybody else forgot to bring quarters to the laundromat to wash your brain? Interesting. That's cool and fucked up. Anyways, I'm gonna be right back. See you in a minute. Beep boop.
Wonderful.
Mods, can you please ban Siska for saying the line, in fact, all of her babies have the same dad, she just saves up the seed? Mods, can we please ban Siska for saying saves up the seed, please? And I'm back, by the way. Hello, everyone. Let's do some dailies. Let's do some dailies at the count of 3, 2, 1, boop.
Wonderful.
All right. I could never ban Siska says Kitty. Damn, showed me. Welcome back to Dailies, the segment of the stream where we do games we can only do today. Today's Tuesday. I believe Ronnie's streaming today, so I'm gonna try to rush through these so we can go and rate Ronnie after this. Welcome to Quirtle, where we do 4 Wordles at once because it's the only way I can feel anything. Yeah, that's fair, Siska. I respect that. So we open with Rogue always, then followed by Saturn, then followed by Blimp. Having scouted everything, we got the keys to the kingdom. We have LAOT. AOT, the letter A, O, and T. This is specifically to trigger Kendra. It could be... No. Allotment? No. Oh, this is weird. Perhaps it starts with an A. Perhaps let's go somewhere else. Bottom right, we have the keys to the kingdom, SOPE. So perhaps it is posse. Perhaps the word is posse. It is not posse. It is... Huh? Bopsy? Cops? It's cops. Oh my god. Oh my god. Words only Dark Souls uses.
Bingo!
Words only Dark Souls uses, by the way, cops. So now we have COLAT. That is the keys to the kingdom. Actor. The word, Your Honor. Your Honor. The word is actor. ACAB includes cops. What is this? It's Octa. Octad? Octad? Octodad? The Dadliest Catch? It must be Octad, right? It must be Octad. It's not Octad! Oh, now we're smoked now. Octat? Fellas, I'm pissed. I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I do not feel no shame. Octave? Oh, it's Octave. It's not Octave. I guess it's Octave, I guess. R-O-R-E. Octal? It was Octal. Point goes to Siska today. So now I have one guess to get this word. We're not getting this word, okay? That's not gonna happen. So, blank O. Blank R. Perhaps, boxer? Perhaps a boxer? Perhaps, a doxer? Perhaps a foxer? Perhaps a coxer? A noxer? And perhaps a foxer, perhaps a doxer, perhaps a sonar? No. What are you? Clearly is It's clearly O space ER. Wower? If it's wower, I'm eating my hat. Okay, thankfully wower is not a word. Hover? Points to Dale. Points to Dale, by the way, that was hover. That was a really bad in my part. Maybe I can make it up by going to guessthegame.com or weguessthegame.com. What game is this? This is a hyper-realistic game. This looks like a recent game. This looks really, really good. This is probably a PS5 game. The little icon, all looks really, really good. Perhaps a recent game? Oh, GeoGuessr? Oh, this is GeoGuessr. You're so right. It's GeoGuessr. Kitty, you're so right, Kitty. Now, where do I find it? Is GeoGuessr, because GeoGuessr is spelled like it has a weird spelling. It is 100% GeoGuessr. I don't know if that, but this is clear. This looks. You think it is in fact a video game? Oh, it's that. Thank you, Dale. They don't have GeoGuessr, by the way, so I must assume that it is in fact a video game, a recent video game, where you would have to climb some sort of like sign. A game where you climb signs. It definitely couldn't be Assassin's Creed. That's the US. I will say, this does look pretty real, except for these purple flowers and the shading underneath this thing. It doesn't look quite real. Give me one skip. This is in fact a video game. This is in fact a video game. 87 score on Metacritic. What is it? That new game that just came out? This is clearly a new gen game. It's like 33 something. Maxi has never seen a wild lilac. Never in my life. Expedition, thank you. It's Expedition 33. It's not even on here. Okay, perfect. Moving on. Give me one more guess. God damn it, this is one of those. It's got footage of real people in there. Is it the Minsky file? No. Brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be like Her Story 2. It's not Her Story 1. Is there Her Story 2? The case of something or other, says Hans. The case is not the case of the Golden Idol. That can't be. You think it's Freddy Fish? We're choking. It's an interactive film, brother. I'm not guessing this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what this is. 2022, no idea. Send it. I don't know who this is. It was Immortality, by the way. Immortality. Is this the news one? I wouldn't know. Oh, you're thinking of like Break the News or something? Nah, this is an interactive film. Turns out that was in fact the real Wild Lilacs. Welcome back to Pokedoku, where we talk about Sudoku, but it's backwards, and it's actually not even about Sudoku, but it's Pokemon. First partner, Galar, fighting, flying grass, ghost. So a flying first partner. This includes evolution, right? Or their evolution. So a flying type partner Pokemon. I mean, like, I feel like straight up, is this Charizard? I can't think of another flying type evolution ender. I'll just put Charizard in here. Rowlet is flying. Is Rowlet flying? Or the evolution's flying? I failed the last time we did Pokedoku, and I can't do that again. You know what? Instead of waiting for confirmation, I'm gonna go with. Okay, I'll put Rowlet. It is in fact a first partner grass Chikorita. No one cares about the bean except me. I respect the bean. And a first partner ghost type Pokemon. That is literally Thiplosion. Thiplos. The Hisuian Thiplosion. Also, Decidueye would have gotten us there, by the way. Flightless Owl. Flowl. See, now Siska's thinking with zetamon naming schemes. A Galarian Ghost type Pokemon. Galarian Ghost. I'll come back to you later. A Galarian Grass type. Eldegoss. Eldegoss, you're grass. Your ass is grass. You're literally in the grass gym. Excuse me, you do not respect the bean. We had a whole video about that on Dango Duo. Yeah. Siska just said I can grow. Dragapult, thank you, beautiful. Dragapult is ghost, by the way. Flying in Galar, brother. That could be like anything. That could be like anything in Galar. What about freaking Charizard, Mega Charizard G-Max? Excuse me? Mega Charizard G-Max loses the flying typing? Oh, it must be from this region. That makes sense, actually. This is what I get for trying to be funny. Flying fighting, that's Holucha, baby. Fighting grass, that's Breloom. At least I'm showing you that I'm not actually dumb. Fighting ghost, that's my boy. That's freaking it is Mankey evolves into prime. No, it's it's like man something. It's like man something. What is Primate's evolution called? It's Annihilate. Kitty Intuned. There you go. So, Corviknight was there, as was the entirety of the fake Galarian birds. Wait, why did you trade your starter to Kulsta? Kulsta's so mean. I want to beat up Kulsta just for that. Anyways, now welcome to GameDull. GameDull.wtf, where we GameDull and then we WTF. Can I guess a game by looking at the cover? I'm not Pokemon pilled, but this looks like Pokemon. Although this is a Mario Brothers game. This is a Mario Brothers game. This is Super Mario Neo Super Mario Brothers for the Wii U. This is Bowser's Inside Story. Bowser's Fury. I would know I would know. I recognize the little propeller at the bottom of the Bowser Jr. This is not Darkest Dungeon. This is not God Eater. Is this God Eater? Oh, can I guess the game by looking at the artwork, by the way? Is this God Eater? This is not God Eater, is it? This is what is the name of the game with the vampires? The game of the vampires. It's full of vampires. It's called Code Vein. It's not Code Vein. Oh, god damn it! This is the game. This is Limbus Company. Yeah, there you go. As soon as I saw the character with the long red hair, I remembered the drama that happened around this character's swimsuit, and I knew everything. Limbus Bimbus, that's my favorite. Guessing a game by the keywords now. Camera, Escape, and Forest. This is Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap. Make it a snap. Hiding, Darkness, and Collecting. This is the game with the. I guess it could be Outlast actually. I was thinking of the game with the funny ghost. Flashlight, Creepy Pasta. Kendra, wake up, Kendra. Slender the Arrival. Yeah, yeah. Kendra, wake up, Kendra. Kendra, wake the fuck up, Kendra. The crossover event of the century. There you go. This one is for Kendra, by the way. This is just for Kendra. All right. Look at him. Oh, he's so dumb. Now, can we guess a game? I forgot about the camera thing. Can I guess a game by guessing the game? Always, my wife is here, so I'm gonna guess Nier. I'm gonna guess Nier, Replicant. Regular Nier. Third-person side views. Third-person science fiction drama open world. It's not an RPG. It's not single player. A third-person action game. Could it? It's not a shooter though. Wait, hold up. Okay. Wait. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up, by the way. It's a multiplayer game, but it's not a strategy, role-playing, or shooter game. What the hell is it then? A puzzle game? Is it Tetris Effect? It's an Unreal Engine game. It is a side view. It's a platformer. It couldn't be. It's not Need for Speed because it's not third person or first person. It's not music or puzzle. By the way, I love that Tetris has no themes. By the way, but it's only multiplayer. It might be on the PlayStation 4. It is a side-scrolling game or a game seen from the side. It could be a fighting game. Oh, it's a fight. It's a fight. It's a science fiction fighting game. Science fiction fighting game. Science fiction fighting game. Science fiction fighting game. Guilty Gear? I don't know if I would qualify I guess Guilty Gear. Is Guilty Gear a science fiction? Okay, so it is after 2021. It is not a fighting game. It is not Bandai Namco or Square Enix. It's not a fighting game. A multiplayer platformer game? A multiplayer Smash-like? Could this be a Smash-like Among Us? Among Us is top-down. It's not side view. Good try, though. Could it perhaps be a platformer game? Or one of those like Smash-likes you see from the side? Oh, that's a fighting game, though. Heroes of Aether? They're not on here. It must be a racing game, but it's side view though. It's not third person though. I guess it's more than just side view. Oh, Kitty's right. You can play fighting games in single player. It's true. Some racing games are side view. Are you sure? I feel like I want to nail down what, Nintendo? I don't know. This is tough. After 2021? Is it Super Auto Pets? I would have been so terrified. It is not Super Auto Pets. You think it's an indie game. It is not indie. It is not indie or board game or strategy or fighting or kits. Okay, so it's not, okay, so tally up, by the way. Get the tally up ready. It's not a shooter. It's not an RPG. It simulates nothing. It has no strategy, no turn-based nothing, no board games. It's not indie, and there's no fighting in it. Is this perhaps a puzzle game in the Unreal Engine, though? And it's not single player. This is a multiplayer only. And it's not strategy or turn-based. And no shooting. Shooting is not the primary mechanism in this game. You know what? iOS tells me this is probably an adventure game. This might be like, what Monument? Monument Valley? Monument Valley 2. It's fantasy. Isometric vert view, side view, third person. Okay. It's a fantasy game. It's not indie and not puzzle. What is it, like a gacha game? Is this like a gacha game? It could possibly be on mobile platforms. Give me a clue. I need something. Electronic Arts? Hazelight Studios and Electronic Arts. After 2021? But EA doesn't publish anything anymore. You know what? It's probably a sports game. It's probably like a FIFA game. It's sports. It's FIFA. It's FIFA 2023, baby. It's not FIFA. It's not sports or non-fiction. I guess it has single player, huh? It's after 2022. An EA game after 2022. It has nothing. It Takes Two. It is not. That is the same. The people who made It Takes Two. Is it Split Fiction? It was Split Fiction.
Bingo!
Shoutouts to It Takes Two, by the way. It Takes Two. Got us there. I'm like, it's the same studio as It Takes Two. Split Fiction. It is a platform game. That's so weird. I wouldn't call this a platforming game. It is fantasy science fiction. It has no single player mode. You need 2 people to play this game. Well, fellas, I want to thank you for joining me today. We actually made a huge amount of progress. I mean, you may be thinking to yourselves, Maxi, we hardly got anything done. You are absolutely wrong. I have the next step forward. So by the time I meet you again, I will have already finished so much more work. Love you, Kitty. Have a lovely rest of your day, babe. I'll see you later, and I'll make sure to gather a little something that came in the mail. But before that, twitch.tv/Moontomes. My good friend Moontomes is streaming today. My good friend Moontomes is streaming some more Infinity Nikki. Ooh! If your name is Nikki and you like the concept of infinity, please consider checking out Ronnie. My good friend Ronnie is streaming today. Please check them out. And Siska just said, I'll send you to Jesus. Wouldn't I like that? Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow streaming on Nomia's channel playing Chrono Trigger. We'll be continuing Chronomia Trigger, as a matter of fact. After that is another science stream, and then on Sunday we'll be playing Monster Hunter, hopefully, with Chippy and Nomia and Kitty. And that's it. I'm out of here. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. And I hope you have a good day. Rest up. Drink water, Kendra. And with that, I'm out of here. Take care. Beep boop. Bye.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wonderful.
I pressed the wrong button. Anyways, see y'all. Take care. Beep boop.